Hello, in this video we will discuss about the pollen allergy. That is the hypersensitivity which that gives response due to the pollen allergy, due to the pollen. So what is pollen? First of all, we should need to understand what is pollen. So this is a plant. Plant use the cross fertilization, the cross pollination, not self pollination, is due to the production of pollen grains. This pollen grain as an antigen, and here is the use for the photosynthesis and produce growth and development. So the carbon dioxide is increased with the passage of time due to burning and industrial period lead to increase the plant growth and reproduction. Why? Because the more carbon dioxide will lead to more photosynthesis to produce more plants. So carbon dioxide is the greenhouse gas which that will trap the sunlight and in the presence of water and chlorophyll which that is used for the photosynthesis to increase the growth of plant, lead to increase the reproduction, and in this way the reproduction requires the pollen grain. So pollen grain is the antigen for our body. So remember about these things. After this, the pollen grain will be inhaled during the person, during the respiration, will lead to infect the person in the lungs. So here is the trachea of the lungs, and pollen enter into the lungs to move a respiratory tract, and this is the allergen. Remember. So here is the seasonal allergen can be spring, summer, and fall. The tree pollen during the spring, example ash, oak, willow, and summer is the grass pollen, and fall during the mustard. So the mustard family. So in this way here you can see this is the blood circulatory system which that contain a contain a B lymphocytes. So the B lymphocyte will be activated with the initial contact with allergen. After the initial contact with allergen, the B lymphocyte activation to produce plasma cell and B memory cell. But here we will just understand about the plasma cell. B memory cell is used for the long-term immunity against this pollen. So release the IgE antibodies from plasma cell. These IgE antibodies will be target to the mast cell. So the mast cell contain a granules. So it is also known as the granulocyte. So in this way the granules contain a histamine. Remember, this histamine is very important and crucial, play important role for the immune response. This is the hypersensitivity type due to the pollen allergy, due to the pollen grains. So here is the after the binding with the IgE receptor bind with the Fc portion of the antibody with the mast cell. So this is the mast cell. After the binding the pollen allergen when arrives, so the bind with the antibodies. So the antibodies were bind. So the um, bind with the Y shape the antibodies. After the binding with the pollen allergen with the antibodies, so in this way the mast cell will be activated to produce, that is the third step is the IgE receptor which that will be bind. After the binding will activate to produce through a exocytosis, of the mast cell. And after the exocytosis of the mast cell, it will be the fourth step, the subsequently contact with allergens. After this, the histamine allergen will be produced. This will lead to cause allergic reaction with a different organ due to the target of the different receptor, histamine receptor. For example, 3 histamine receptor. We will not going to understand with the explanation, but just remember. So the subsequently contact with allergens, which that will target the different organ, the different tissue, and different organ will lead to cause the allergic reaction, which that will show phenotypically. So the physically, and not also physiologically, but physically. So the photosynthesis will increase with the passage of time due to the industrialization will lead to cause more hypersensitivity and more pollen allergy due to the time because the industrialization and burning of the charcoal, burning of the some products which that lead to produce carbon dioxide and vehicle also. So it will be target to the heart tissue. The frequent heartbeat will be increased, and in this way, you can understand that will be bound with a histamine receptor with a histamine, and that will lead to frequent heartbeat. After this, the swelling and inflammation will be occur of the skin, which that is can show the rashes as well as other things, which that is the allergen reaction. So on the other hand, here the blood clots will be occur due to the histamine. So because histamine is important for the blood clotting, so the blood clotting can be occur. So the severe case will lead to heart attack also. So in this way, here is the adrenaline increased with the adrenal gland of the kidney point to increase the sympathetic nervous system. And here you can see the gastric acid secretion due to the binding. So in this way, the gastrointestinal tract will be disturbed and the blood vessel to dilate and permeability increase with a neutrophil, and in this way the atherosclerosis can be occur with the chronic pollen allergy hypersensitivity. So here is the broncho constriction, constriction of the respiratory airways will be constrict. So all these things is the natural remedies for allergies can be exercise, vitamin D addition as a supplement, because the vitamin D is very important for the regulation of the immune system. So the nasal irrigation is very important. Acupuncturation, butter bar, and omega-3 fatty acid is used for it. And on the other hand, the probiotics and prebiotics is very important, crucial to prevention of the pollen allergy. And mask is the important strategy for the prevention of the pollen inhalation. Using masks will protect the seasonal allergy. So this was the overview of the pollen allergy and what is the pollen allergy. I hope you make sense about this pollen allergy and their immune response due to the mast cell activation. So thanks for watching. This was the pollen allergy video. Thanks. Bye.